kind of
What was
crazy.
it called before you appropriated the name from
Well,
the XD team, which
that
was a team?
well, that's right. That's right. It was so at the time. All Adobe Design wasn't called Adobe Design. We actually called the Experience Design Group, XD for short. So that I don't remember the name of that project. So again, that was what happened was the Adobe fellow, this really talented engineer we were working on, who was the sort of mastermind behind tools like the Edge products, Edge Animate, and stuff like that. If you remember those, he left the company to explore some different opportunities, and that project was essentially kind of defunct. Simultaneously, another group with, of course, now some of my best friends at the company and collaborators, they had started also developing on the side. One of our product management organizations or product organizations had also sort of identified this need. They had basically organized like a white paper on this need for this new tool, right, and the market opportunity for this new tool. And also the third leg of this stool is research. Adobe Design, the Adobe Experience Design organization at the time, had commissioned a ethnographic study of kind of what the next generation of designers designing almost exclusively for digital experiences. So again, we kind of had these three things. We had the product and engineering organizations with this white paper. We had design working on this prototype for the tool that they were going to meet their needs. And we had research saying, hey, all these people, they're missing the tools that they need. Like they're missing something here from us. So we kind of had all these things, and that kind of created like this right mix of opportunity. And so when my project went defunct and Andrew's white paper got a little traction, Andrew and his engineering partner at the time came to my boss and said, well, do you have a designer who'd like to come work on this? And my director was like, yeah, I happen to know the guy. And so we all convened together. I met the first meeting with Andrew and NJ and Honoru and Tom happened right after we came back from a summer break. It was about like 4 years ago now or something like that. And we all got together and like we got in this conference room. I still remember it, and it was just like it was like the Vulcan mind meld. Like it was just like all of a sudden we all knew what we were doing. We all came together and we knew exactly what this thing should look like and what it was going to be. Again, we didn't know all the details, but we were so unified in like who this thing was for and, like what we wanted to do with it. Like we really wanted to push, the patterns when it came to, UI and experience inside our applications. We wanted to build in a way that was iterative, right? We didn't want to sort of like have these year-long development cycles. That we wanted to, be out there and engage with the community from the very beginning. That was going to form the foundation of everything that we did. And like we just went and did it. And it was amazing when you sort of get together and people are so in sync with each other and they have that foundation of knowledge that they just share. We built this prototype that was the earliest version of what became XD. We built it in like 3 months. We designed it and built it in like 3 months.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And it had the core of the experience: design, prototype, and share. You could, we had an amazing pen tool at the time. We were doing all these cool experiments with vector drawing and make it better and all that stuff. It had repeat grid because we kind of landed on this idea that like, well, we were making this for people who are designing digital experiences for designing mobile apps. Well, if you looked across the board, like people were designing with these layout blocks that were repeated. And so that
like
led to
grids and cells and that's one of the best features of XD is the repeat grid.
And so then it had the rudiments of prototyping and animation in it. And I still remember we had every year we had a yearly showcase of work for the design group, and this was going to be the first time I was going to be able, like, they asked me to show what we had been working on to my peers, right? The people that I was making this tool for. And we had rented out the exhibition space at the De Young Museum for our kind of like big showcase. And I was, somewhere in like, I actually still have I just found the agenda for that day recently. And there's Talin showing off this project we were calling Sparkler at the time as an homage to fireworks. and I got up in front of everybody and I designed Twitter in minutes from scratch. I got up in front of everyone live, and in the prototype that we had built in about 3 months, I designed a design that would take 2-3 times as long, because we all knew the feeling of trying to do something like that inside of Illustrator. I designed it live in front of everybody in like 3 minutes, and like just like brought the house down. Like people just like they just had never. They're just like, what is this? How did you do this? Like they were just blown away.
What is this wizardry?
Yeah. It was just something, like, and that was such an electric feeling. Again, these are the people that I still hold up as like my number one customers, clients, users, And from there, like, again, like that, of course, we weren't out of the woods. That early prototype was really compelling. We had a meeting with the VP of the product organization at the time, and I still remember like how compelling it was. The fact that like we were giving a presentation, and then I did the demo, and then as we were sort of discussing, I just kept designing, and like the VP was so distracted by me designing that he like at one point he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Can you all repeat what you just said? I was just distracted by like Talin designing in this tool. And so like even that, like we knew we had something, but it still was about probably.
What year was that? Because it wasn't launched or announced until, was it 2015 or something?
Yeah, 15. I think it was late 2014, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it said, again, like every time we got it in front of people, we just kept getting feedback and making our story tighter and better. And it took us it took us about 4 to 5 months, I think, to finally kind of get the official go ahead to form a team and to go and turn this into something real that could live in, next to Photoshop in the dock.